I want to say something smart about this. Let's break out the refreshments. We've already had a good service. It's good to be here this morning. We come in an attitude, I hope, of expectation. Dog days of August are real around here. And the rain comes and the rain goes, and the sunshine comes and the sunshine goes. I saw a quote the other day that I sort of liked, and I think it was a fast food joint. It said, "One world, one love." I think it's a chicken place. And that's the point we've come to in this country, that we're marketing faith statements. So I want to add one to make it truly Trinitarian. One world, one love, one hope. Today we're going to be talking about Zoroaster. And Zoroaster has to do with our story as human beings on this globe, especially the Western world. It goes back many, many centuries to about 2 centuries before Jesus. So that shows a pretty long stretch of history, 4,000 years ago or so. And it's about a fellow named Zoroaster who came up with an idea that there's one dynamic force in the universe dealing with an opposing force. And we're going to light our chalice because they were people of the light. If you go to Persia today, Iran, you will see these magnificent buildings called fire temples. Has anyone been to Persia? Has anyone been to Iran? It's pretty fascinating. I've had some friends who've been there, and I've seen a lot of news about it. But they thought that fire gave us the presence of the holy. So we come in that attitude today to learn about a spiritual legacy that's ours, and to see if there's anything in it that we can glean for our own worship, our own growth, our own engagement with the hard truth of life. Because they did it 4,000 years ago with a pretty good attitude. Look up. Look up. It's not sunshine, but it's a clean, beautiful ceiling. And of course, Ed went out, so we can't recognize him. But 2 days this week, they finished this work. And Ed supervised it. If you haven't looked up, that's good. We didn't want you to, because it was mildewed really ugly up there and it was getting worse. But it's been treated and saved, they say. So. If you look on the front of your order of service, I want to give you a tour. Does anyone know what that is? It's a symbol of Zoroastrianism, and it goes back to ancient times. I've got a spiral on my wrist, and I like that as a symbol that's ancient. But this one was more sophisticated and nuanced. And it was from about 4,000 years ago. And you can see it in the tombs and in the artifacts from that era in Persia, Iran, the Fertile Crescent. So it represents one person, the spirit. That's the person in upright. It's male, but it's also meant to be universal. The disc sometimes replaces the man to be the center. It's about the God of goodness, Azure, I fake it every time, Azure Mazda. Ahura Mazda. Does anyone remember the old Edison lamps of 100 years ago? Come on, you do. That's what he named them, the Azure Mazda lamps, because it had the filament in it that gave perpetual light. So the native people, the Persians, who were not crude at all, they were very sophisticated. They had a civilization that was worshiping primitive and ancient gods everywhere. So this one fellow who was born to a pretty good family, we know he's real in history, at about age 20, he looked around and saw the despair, somewhat like Gautama Buddha, of what's life mean? Where's the significance of knowing what's going on in the world? How can I find it out? So he aspired for about 10 years, the story goes. By the time he was 30, he decided that helping people had to be the most important thing you did. So he developed into a doctor. He became a medical person. Now, you got to remember, he went on and lived to be 77 years old. So he had a lot of life left at 35 and 40. 40, he started preaching after he had an encounter, a mystical encounter, with good thoughts. Now, there's a Persian word that means good thoughts, but I don't want to torture you by trying to pronounce it. So we're just going to do simple, good thoughts. Good thoughts visited him in a vision, and he taught them what to do, which was have good thoughts, good deeds, good feelings. It was about being a good person. Well, that's so simplistic, so naive, Doak. That's nothing new in the world. Oh, yes, it was. It's the first person we can trace in history that came up with monotheism, that there was one prevailing force in the universe that was over against another powerful force in the universe, evil. So you have this light, oops, it went out. That's not a bad omen, just too much oil. But the light prevails forever. And if you go to a fire temple, they might let you in, they might not. The Parsi Zoroastrians today are around the world. There are about 6 temples in America, fire temples. The closest one is Pomona, New York. And I think I'm going to try to go see it when I'm up there in my honeymoon come October, if Kathy will ride with me up there. Because on the other side of Newton, New Jersey, is a wonderful Hindu temple that is huge and elaborate. Now, why New Jersey? Why New York? Because that's an international area where people move in from all over the world and have been there for generations. Well, we know our history of the Shah in Persia and Iran today. It's been under a dark cloud since the 70s. After a king succeeded his daddy, who was king, who became the Shah, and styled the country after Western civilization. Well, the Muslims came in after Zoroaster with fire and brimstone to carry the message of peace of Muhammad. Muhammad didn't want that, but his descendants and his followers warped it into chauvinistic, one God, one prophet, and Muhammad is his prophet. Same thing with Jesus. Jesus would come about that time. You see, 600 years before Jesus' time, there was Moses, Lay Sung of Taoism, and Zoroaster of Zoroastrianism, which said to the world, there's something going on. And the thing going on was human consciousness coming to realize that there was a pattern in life, or there had to be a pattern. It wasn't just about survival. It wasn't just about root hog or die. It was about manifesting a goodness in your life that would prevail forever, that you could be attached to. See, spirituality is an issue of relationship. What gives you the most significance? Your family, your money, politics, God of Jehovah, Jesus, the teacher, Sao Lao Sung, the yin and yang. Human consciousness is an evolutionary phenomena that's moved through generation after generation. And we as historians, human beings, tool makers, able to make language, to communicate, have tracked it back at least 4,000 years. But our science has taken it back millions of years. So when we have such attitude that we know everything, that science is predominant, it's all change. It's all in change. The only permanency is change. So the question to be alive in this house, in all houses that are serious about their spirituality and their religious thrust, is what is important. What is significance? What will save my soul? Daddy died, mother died, my son died. We die. So what? Well, it matters how you live. And for Zoroaster, it said, the good thought said, you got to go to judgment. When you die, you got to look at the scales. You got more good than bad? Okay. But the punchline is, you're going to have more good. You just don't know it. So it's sort of a closed deal, but it gives people a lifetime of doing good deeds, of having alms, helping the poor, being concerned about justice, and making it happen in our own individual ways. None of us can change the world. None of us can make things work like they're supposed to be. But we can one-on-one be nice people. It is that simple, and it's that hard. Look what Jesus did. He didn't claim to be God. He said, I'm the Son of Man. I'm here to be with you. I'm here to be within your pain. When the powers of government and religion squash you, I'm saying, you're okay, man. Get on with it. You got good to do. You got families to make. You got livings to make. You got life to enjoy and celebrate. Let's have some good parties, especially weddings. They like weddings, you know? That's an idea. I'm not going to have it here, but I will have it somewhere else, so it better be a good wedding, I hope. The idea of people moving through life, dissecting it like a corpse to find out what it is a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do. It saves our medicine. It enhances our medicine. It moves to us to have a whole, fuller life. And there are a lot of people in this room, there are a lot of people, our kinfolk, are here because of the good research of science. We were 200 years ago. We were 500 years ago. Well, you got the idea. Human beings are meant to find meaning and value through their aspirations, their mind, their hearts, and their hands. It's about working for that which is good. What's good? Well, thinking about what you're doing. Everything from driving to your money to your family. There's tough love. You know about that, don't you? You ever seen any of it lately? I haven't seen much tough love. Y'all have shown it a little bit to me, and I appreciate that. You know? But who's showing it to you? When it's time for us to recognize that we've got to think about other people and their feelings. Yeah, but that can't run over us, Doak. You don't want to be a pansy. Yeah, I want to be a pansy. I want to say I loved first and judged latter. I hope you can be too, because that's what it's about. Being a human being in this world trying to sort out the truth. What does the truth look like? The truth is 51% of the vote, right? Truth didn't elect our president, did it? Did the will of the people? Has the will of the people ever elected a president? No, it's a convoluted process, divided up in different sources to make sure that power is sustained by certain folk. And that's just being petty and being mean and not fulfilling our potential. It's not finding salvation. It's not finding eternity. It's not recognizing that our children will remember our stories. Maybe. Everyone who likes great literature, good history, inquiring minds, as the silly ad goes, knows that life is a tough road, and all that we have are the gifts we bless one another with, which is our love, our attention, and our confirmation. Amen. I have closing words that I borrowed from my colleague Elizabeth Ellis, and it's entitled A Benedictine Benediction. Franciscan benediction. And it seems that I may have used it before, but I don't think so it's worth hearing again because I loved it this morning when I was working on it. May God bless us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deeply within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that you may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer pain, rejection, hunger, and war, so that you may reach out a hand to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. And may God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world so that you can do what others claim cannot be done, to bring justice and kindness to our children and to the world, the poor, all of us. Amen. Be foolish.